great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. It's your boy, Jim Hacking. It's Wednesday, the last day of January. I'll be here for the next hour to answer as many of your immigration law-related questions as I can. In a little bit, I'm going to go over the fee increase. So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but USCIS fees are about to go up, up, up. And so I am going to talk about those. I made some slides for you to sort of explain what's going on. And I have to upload those real quick so that I can be ready to present them to you. Let me find them while I'm doing that. How's everybody doing? Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods. I see a couple of people who were waiting in the waiting room yesterday, and I'm going to start with them just because they really wanted to get on. And the first person that falls into that category would be Ranvijay. What's up, Ranvijay? You're on mute. You're on mute. Can't hear you. Now I can hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Awesome. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Doing well. So I have an answer for you and I have a question for you. Remember, I was on the show a few days ago asking regarding switching back to F1 when I used CSPA and switched back to F2B when my father turned into a citizen. It was a few shows ago. So I did file in a request and USCIS did allow me to switch back to F1.
Yeah, I figured they would.
Oh, yes. Now, the question I have is when I go into the portal, they ask me to pay the fees, but at the same time, they're asking me to fill out the form DS-260. But the thing is, I am in United States, and I think I would need to fill out form I-485.
Right.
So how do I go by changing that? Do I have to fill out DS-260 and 485?
No, I would ignore the National Visa Center and I would file the 485. Are you in valid immigration status right now?
Yes.
Yeah, so I would file for adjustment and I would
But how do I avail the form on the website? Do I file in a public inquiry form? Because once I pay the fees, I think they're going to open up the DS-260.
Did you pay the fees already?
I haven't. I just
don't pay the
received
fee. Don't pay the fee. What I said was, stop paying attention to the National Visa Center. You have an approved I-130. You believe that you're eligible for adjustment, so file a 485 and attach the I-130 approval notice, and then forget all about NVC.
So how do I pay the fees online? I don't.
You don't pay the fees online. You pay $1,225. You send in a check made out to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security with your 485. You're done with NVC.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I might contact your office.
Yeah, we can help. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Thanks, Jim. I'll contact you guys soon.
Yep. Bye.
Take care.
All right. It's sunny day out, so I had to come outside. How about that? All right, let's get to some calls. Maybe I'll do the update on the fee increases. I'll do those at the bottom of the hour. Let's do some calls first. Hi, Justin.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, man.
So I have a question for you about the K-1 visa. So me and my fiance filed 10 months ago. We're March filers, and I know we're within the normal processing times, but I've been pretty diligent in following the acceptance rate of cases, and I've seen all the cases on my day besides 2 other ones have been accepted, denied, or RFEs.
You mean approved, denied, or RFE'd?
Yes. Yep. Sorry. And what I'm curious of is there anything else that I can do for that, or is there any other methods that I can do to help my fiance get into the States? Because I'm just I'm a little confused on why we haven't heard anything back. And by the way, they heard back on December 12th through December 15th. That's the days that they were approved. And now we're going on almost February, and we haven't heard anything. I've reached out to other avenues, and people just say, be patient. But I'm curious on, if we have no issues with our case, why are we waiting 2 months extra or however much longer?
How do you know you don't have any issues with your case?
Well, that's just what I'm hoping. I'm
Right.
trying to be positive in that term.
So I spend zero time thinking about what the processing times are of other cases. I spend zero time thinking about what the stated processing times are. The only thing that matters is when they approve it. And I'll just tell you, people in the comments can say, but most fiance cases are taking about a year at USCIS. Most I-129Fs are taking about a year to get adjudicated. So I know that you're hyper focused on the people that happen to file the same day as yours, but I don't think that's the right analysis. I think there's this bell curve that, you know, some get approved right on time, some get approved a little later, some get approved a little earlier. But to me, you're not even at the 1 year mark to where I would start worrying.
Okay. So patience is a virtue, is what I'm hearing.
For sure.
And would there ever be a time where we should think about sending a letter to like a state representative or something like that?
I think that's a waste of time.
Waste of time.
I would literally do nothing except talk to my fiance every day on the phone and try to make more evidence for later. And I would stop living and dying based on how things are going.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Bye, Justin. See ya. All right. AJ is saying the USCIS raised the fee for all applications. That's true, my friend. We're going to talk all about that at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk about all of that at the bottom of the hour. Salman is here. Hello, Salman.
Hi, sir. Good evening, sir. I'm from San Francisco.
Nice.
Yeah. First of all, sir, my English is limited, so please try to understand.
I think your English is good.
Okay. So, sir, question is that, like, I'm talking about my friend. My friend came here on R1 visa, R for Robert, R1 visa for 2 years visa, religious visa. And after he came here in USA with family, and his employer terminated his job. And his employer told him in written, you can work anywhere whenever you want. And the question is that, can in this situation, can employer has power to cancel the visa, R1 visa? Like, does
I believe if the yeah, AJ, I'm going to cover all this stuff. Why are you putting it in the comments? I believe that if an employer terminates the R1, the person has to leave the United States.
He not terminate R1 visa. He just terminate his job.
I'm saying if they terminate the job, the R1 is over. They get 60 days to try to find a new job.
Yeah, he just simple in plain letter. He just mentioned you can work anywhere.
Who's the employer? A mosque or what?
The religious.
It's called Mustafa Institute.
Who?
It's the institute.
What is Mustafa Institute?
It's a mosque. We do
Mosque.
Muslim services.
So, by what authority does the employer say? How does the employer know that the person can go work wherever they want? That isn't right.
He give 2 letters. One letter he says your job is terminated, and other letter he says you can find another job anywhere whenever you want in USA. He didn't say about the visa, R1 visa, cancel visa or whatever. He didn't say anything.
Did he talk to an immigration lawyer? Did he? I mean, people can say what I can say. I'm president of the United States. Donald Trump can say I won the election. Just because people say it, even in a letter, doesn't mean that.
Yeah, from the immigration or from the lawyer, we didn't get any letter.
Yeah. So then that letter from the employer is worthless.
Worthless. Okay. All right. So so R1 visa is still valid? Will be still valid?
I don't think so. I think he's got. When did they terminate him?
On the 8th of January 2024.
Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
So So this person, this friend of yours, needs to talk to a lawyer and have them research what. I don't know what the rules are with an R1. I don't know when they have to leave. My understanding generally is that if you have an employment-based visa and the job goes away, usually that means that you're on a clock and you're probably going to have to leave the United States.
In 60 days.
I don't know. I'd have to look at the rules. I just know other employment visas. I don't handle that many R1s. It's something that they should know. I should be able to figure out, but the employer is full of crap. The employer, they just made stuff up.
Also, he didn't get the work permit. He's waiting for work permit.
Authorization.
He get the social security and work authorization. He didn't get it.
He doesn't get one. You don't get you don't get
Yes.
a work card on an R1. You just have the visa.
Right.
All
But
right.
he already worked 2 months.
Yeah, well, he had the visa. That's so he could work there, but he doesn't need a work authorization. That is his work authorization, the visa.
Oh, really? Okay. Sir, so can you help us to if I hire attorney from you?
There's nothing for me to do here.
In this case?
I think he's screwed. I mean, he can email me if he wants. If he wants to email me, we can look at it. But mostly, he needs to find another job or he needs to leave.
Oh, any question?
If he doesn't find another job, there's nothing for me to do. So he should focus on finding another job.
Okay. All right. That's all, sir. That's all.
Thanks
Bye,
a lot.
Thanks for helping me.
Yep.
Thank
see
you.
buddy. All right. Yeah, R1s are tricky. You're in a really tough spot. Any employment visa is tough because if the employer takes the job away, then you're in trouble. Vanessa is here. Hello, Vanessa. Can't hear you, Vanessa. Are you talking? We'll come back, Vanessa. Can't hear you. Mustafa is here. Hello, Mustafa.
Hello, I'm good. Thank you for asking. Are you good?
I'm good, man. Thanks.
Okay. I just got rejected yesterday from B2 visa. Okay.
Yeah. Where?
In Latvia. I'm Egyptian who are studying in Latvia. I'm 27 years old. Okay. I'm a master's degree student.
Yep.
The details in a brief. Like she asked me about what I'm doing here. I said a student, master degree. How long are you gonna stay in United States? I said 2 weeks, specifically the dates. Also, then what are you going to do? I'm gonna visit New York, see some kind of stuff, explore New York. And then she asked me about my father. What is his job? Who gonna support you for your trip? I said my father as well. She told me, what are you going to do after finishing your studies in Latvia? I said I will go home because that's specifically what I want to do. So this is most likely. And something else, she didn't ask me for any kind of documents, anything. She didn't ask me for any papers, nothing.
So when you are in a third country,
Yeah.
that makes it a lot harder to get a visit visa
Okay.
because the United States doesn't care anything about you or what you want to do when you come to the United States. All they care about is whether or not you're going to go back home or
Yes.
leave the United States on time. So when you are from Egypt but living in Latvia, then in their mind, you don't have strong ties to Egypt, you don't have strong ties to Latvia, and you're probably just looking for a way to come to the United States and stay. So
Yes.
I'm not surprised that your visa got denied, and I'm not surprised that they didn't look much. I'm sure they looked at your application and said, "This guy's not coming back. This guy's not leaving the United States on time. We're not giving him a visa." I think that's what happened.
Okay. I have another question. Maybe I don't know what is gonna be your advice about that. But also, I'm working here. Okay, I'm very well, very get paid here in Latvia.
Mhm.
I have a job. I can work here as a full time. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
So when I came here, I found a job like since the beginning. So I work it. So I don't know. She didn't ask me even about that. She didn't ask me for money. She didn't ask. And my father also, he gonna support me for my whole trip. That's why I put him into who gonna pay for your trip, because he's my father. So when he gonna buy me the ticket, they will see that he bought me the ticket. Yeah.
When you live in a third country
Yeah.
and you don't have strong ties to that country, the United States doesn't give you a visa. They don't think you're coming back. It's
Okay.
it's the same answer. You could tell me you're a millionaire. You could tell me you own a factory in Latvia. There's nothing to do. They didn't give you the visa. There's nothing you can do. It's over.
So like there is no advice. Maybe I could apply again in the future, or what I should do.
I wouldn't apply from Latvia. If you're back in Egypt and have a job and a business and a reason to go back to Egypt, I think getting it from a third country is really hard.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Mustafa.
Thank you.
See you, buddy. All right. Let's go over to Vanessa, see if she got her audio squared away. Vanessa, you got that audio squared away? Nope. I don't know what's up. All right, let's go to asking for a friend. What up, friend?
Hey Jim, sorry, can you please put me off camera?
There you go.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate what you're doing through this live show. I have a quick question. I have a friend who got into a fight with his neighbor. This was probably 4 years back. They just pushed each other, and cops were called. They made an incident report. No one was arrested. Nothing else happened there. They just made an incident report. Now he's filing his I-485 through his wife, who's a U.S. citizen. So he's wondering if he should mention this on the form, or is there any way that USCIS or FBI background check, anything as such, would show this incident report?
So, what is this person applying for?
For a green card, marriage-based green card.
And where did it happen?
It happened in Michigan.
And so, what was the person's status at the time?
He was on F1 visa.
F1 visa, and the cops came because he was fighting with somebody?
Yes.
And so, what did the cops do? Did they arrest him?
No arrest. They made an incident report. They heard both sides of stories, and they said if anyone troubles each other again, then they're gonna arrest someone.
Did they have to go to court or anything?
No, nothing. It was
Well,
just like a warning.
so it's probably not a big deal. It's probably better to disclose it.
Hmm.
To me, have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained? So the question is, let's say you and I are fighting,
Hmm.
and the cops come and they have Jim go over here and Joe go over there, and they're talking to me. Is that a detention? Probably not, but it is something that might show up. All right, good. I'm glad you guys got the background music. I'm going to start playing that when people bring up the cops. But I think that it's probably better to just disclose it and show that nothing happened. I think that's better.
Okay. Do you think these kind of stuff would show up in the background checks?
I don't want you to ask me that question. I don't like that question.
Okay.
Because that's a bad question. That makes me think you're trying to get away with something. Like, I don't make my decision. This is a good topic. Huli, send me a text, will you? I don't make my decisions about what I tell them based on what I think they can find. That's a bad mindset. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm saying that's the wrong mindset, right? You don't want to think about how close to the edge can I get without actually getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I mean, the reason he's worried is if it is not a big deal, then he don't want extra eyes to be raised on this issue.
That's the wrong thinking.
Mm.
That's the wrong thinking, because here's the thing. I've seen it many, many times where people lie about something or don't disclose something that has nothing to do with whether or not they get their green card, because they don't want extra eyes, right?
Okay.
But they get denied for lying. They don't get denied. So, like, I'll tell you a story. So the very first green card lawsuit that I did was a kid from Pakistan. He was married to a police officer, speaking of cops, and he had applied for his green card, and USCIS in St. Louis was taking forever. He filed a lawsuit all on his own without a lawyer, and then they started playing games with him, which is why you shouldn't file without a lawyer. So he came to me, and I was so proud of him for filing this lawsuit. I said, dude, I will represent you for free because I just want to see if it works. And so I went to his interview. He paid me for that. I went to his interview, and he had a really tough old officer who'd been working there since 1978. And I'll never forget it because he's sitting next to me, and I'm pretty much a new immigration lawyer, so I didn't know as much back then. And the officer asked him, "Where did you meet your wife?" And he said, "I met her at the mall." And then she said, "Where in the mall?" And he said, "In this one store." And then she leans forward in her desk and she says, "What were you doing at the mall?"
Okay.
And this is a situation where he was working, but he was scared and didn't want to tell her, right? So if he lied, she would have crucified him. But instead, he leans up and he says, "I was working." And she said, "That's right, you were working, and your case is approved," because he didn't lie. So that's what I want you to think about. Not you, everybody watching. I'm saying this for a lesson for everybody. Don't just say to yourself, how, like a teenager, how can I get around what my parents are asking me? No. Figure out what your position is, whether it's strong or weak, and then deal with the reality. Don't just say, "Oh, I don't want extra scrutiny on my case." That's just setting yourself up for a really big problem that you don't even need to have.
Got it. So in that situation, you mentioned the guy initially mentioned as no in the form, and then later they figured out.
I think so. Yeah, because I didn't fill
Okay.
out the 45. Yeah, I think I think that he hadn't listed all of his jobs because he thought that he was going to get in trouble. But of course, if you're married to a U.S. citizen, any unauthorized work is forgiven, and that's why we had to get him squared away. I mean, I was elbowing him to tell her, right? But he was still
Okay.
nervous.
Okay. And in the interviews, can USCIS officer ask the lawyer to stay outside and talk with only the person?
Fuck no, no
No.
way, dude. Mm-mm.
Thank God. All right. Another last question I have for him is
We could try it.
he got married to his wife within the 3 months of meeting. They met online. They both from the same community, so it worked out fast. So do you see that as a red flag by any chance?
Well, but you didn't tell me the most important piece of information.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
What was his status when he met her?
He was on F1 status.
Oh, he's in valid status?
Yeah, he was.
So that's good. I mean, 3 months, is there a religious reason why it was 3 months, or is it why did they get married so fast?
Their parents back in the home country, were not accepting, so he thought they would try to separate him for an arranged marriage, and they went ahead and married out of FOMO.
Oh, so his parents, the immigrant's parents, weren't approving, and so he
Correct.
wanted to do things right and get his parents to shut up.
Yes.
So that's a great explanation, but he's got to try to nail that down. So if his brother and sister
Mm-hmm.
like could send an affidavit about that, that would be
Mhm.
helpful. That's a good explanation. I mean, any kind of religious or cultural reason that you can give, Hooli, that's another good topic. Any religious or cultural reason why you can give for for getting married quickly, that's always going to be helpful.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it I have,
Awesome.
Jim.
Good call. Thanks for the call.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. We're dealing today. BG's back. What's up, BG?
Hey, hola, Jim.
What's up?
Hey, I'm on second season 2 of your live show. I just go by years, so I started 3 years ago. I'm on 2 years now. Keep going until I catch up. But hopefully, my question is gonna go quick.
Okay.
So I have a friend who's a permanent resident in Canada that's trying to come here for the graduation in April. Sh She wants to walk for her graduation. She applied for her visit visa, and she saw that the next interview was like 2 years from now. I mean, from the when she applied, and it's gonna go past that. Is there anything she can do to expedite so she can get here?
So what country is this person originally from?
East Africa, Burundi.
Burundi. And so they are a Burundi national who happens to be a lawful permanent resident in Canada.
Yes.
And they want to get a visit visa to come to the United States for what purpose? Their own graduation or to attend somebody else's?
Their own.
Because they've been studying online at some U.S. university?
Yes.
And you're saying that the big problem right now is that the appointment for the visit visa to come in Canada to come to the United States is 2 years out, and she'll have already graduated.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she's screwed.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
All right, bye.
See you, man. All right. The lawyer. Hold on, I gotta go with this. The lawyer I should hire. I should have hired. Hacking to the world. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Jim?
How you doing?
So I got a question. Well, my friend got a question for you, but she's a bit camera shy.
Okay.
You mind taking me off camera for a bit?
Done.
Thanks a lot, Jim. I'm gonna hand the phone over to her.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great.
Here you go. Just talk in my ear. My ear. My ear.
Okay. I was a J1 student in 2013. I'm going to give you the backstory and then I have like 3 questions afterwards. Is that okay?
Just for the record, I really like when people write down their questions. People have been doing that more and more lately. I think it really helps. So thank you for doing that. Go ahead. So J1.
So I was a J1 in 2013. I did my program. I went back home. I got a visitor's visa and came back 2014, 2015. I met someone. I got married in 2016. He had pre-existing conditions and he died in 2018 in January.
I'm sorry.
Yes. So we lived together. I didn't know his family. He died at a sober house that he managed. The family reached out to me as the wife to legally hand his body over for burial plans. And I did because they're like a well-off family. They had their procedures that they wanted done a certain way. And I couldn't go up to their standards. I could bury him, but not at the standards that they required, you know?
Yes.
I attended the funeral. We exchanged numbers. We went out to eat together, but we never maintained a relationship because we never had a relationship before. We never had kids together. So there wasn't much to speak about, you know?
Yes, ma'am.
I spoke to his aunts and stuff like that, but eventually, as time went by, the relationship got strained. I filed as a widow on instruction from my boss at the time.
Had your spouse started the process at all?
Well, he was telling me that I should, but like he kept changing jobs, and I needed the what do you call it? The
Co-sponsor?
yeah, like that came.
What's
I
it-
got everything, but it was
Just
within the same month that he died. Like
so nothing was
so,
filed at the time of his death.
no. I went to like a community lawyer, and they organized to. Yeah, I went to a community lawyer and organized to put everything together. They put the paperwork through. I had an interview, but it was a horrible interview. It was rough. And like at one point, my interviewer just stopped and said to me, you understand why I have to be tough on you, right? Because he's not here. And it didn't work out. Like they already had everything planned to grill me. Like I didn't get many questions in. Like it was not good.
What field office?
I think it was Rhode Island.
Did you have a lawyer with you or
No, and that's the next thing. Like he filed the paperwork, but he was never present. No, further down in the story, I learned like a lot from this. Like what he put in required that he be present, and he was never present. He didn't put in some of the right forms. He sent some of the information on like a letterhead from the community lawyer place. Like
Yeah.
he didn't use the correct forms. They responded to him in a letter because he wrote them in a letter. A lot of things weren't put in place the correct way. So I was like set up to fail.
Yeah.
So where was I? I filed as a widow. I was on filing for a visa through my family, but I aged out because I was over 21 years old. So they responded requiring that I come to an interview, but thereafter there was communication to show that I was over the age and it wouldn't work out. So that went past. And as time went by, I met somebody different and eventually I got married. I was also, it's very important that I was placed in removal proceedings. And then I appealed the case with the widow thing. I sent them more information because they sent me an RFE. The more I sent them, the less positive it looked. So I let it go. Um, when I remarried and filed, I filed just the I-130 because no, this new lawyer that I got explained the errors of the first lawyer, and she's strategically putting in the things. So I got an interview in November of last year, right? It was
The
very
per-
good. It was very
person,
positive.
the person you're married to now is a U.S. citizen,
He is.
and you have a lawyer.
Yes, I do.
And this person that you're married to now, just so that I'm clear, is your second spouse you've ever had.
Right,
Okay, the deceased one and this one.
right.
And okay, all right. Did
So
your lawyer get your whole file from immigration?
the whole file. Some of
Good.
it was I'm gonna use it's redacted.
Right, that's the right word. Yep.
Yeah. So
Okay,
she
good,
said she got it. I submitted a lot of evidence, a
good.
lot of pictures, everything, but she said like she couldn't see everything. Some of it was redacted.
So
Okay.
where was your second interview?
In Boston.
Did they separate you and your spouse?
Yes, but it didn't feel like a separation. It was quick. They did him in a few minutes and me afterwards, and
Did
they asked me
your
questions.
lawyer went with you?
Was present, yes.
Great. Okay, good. I'm feeling hopeful. I'm feeling hopeful.
Yeah. So I have a master calendar hearing coming up in May of 2024 because now I have to answer to overstaying on my visa, you know?
That's your first master?
Yes.
When did you get the NTA?
In 2019. But
And
I had a 2 year. They gave me a like an extension because of COVID. Everything
yeah,
was no courts were open, blah blah blah,
yeah.
and so I waited an additional 2 years. So that's how it ended up going so far out.
Okay, I'm dying to ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Yes,
So you started this story with the J1, right?
right.
Were you subject to Rule 212E that you go back home, or were you like on work and travel?
I was on work and travel.
So have you or your lawyer made sure that you're not subject to that return back home for 2 years?
No, I'm not required.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Good. Okay.
she took like my information from that travel and checked it, and no.
Okay. Perfect. Sounds like your new lawyer knows what she's doing. That's good.
Yes. So, um, my question. So at this hearing, I'm concerned. Well, this my lawyer is like she has a multitude of cases, and I understand, but I've been waiting since that interview in November for her to answer the questions I'm asking you now, and I'm antsy, so I have to ask. So at this hearing, will they approve the green card to be processed by USCIS? Is that the like?
Whoa,
I
whoa,
got a
hold on, hold on,
positive.
hold on, hold on. You're jumping ahead a little bit. You're jumping ahead.
Uh,
What's the status of the I-130? Did they approve it?
okay, so I'm back.
Oh, the I-130. Did they approve the
You were
I-130?
saying yes, basically. So my lawyer is telling me that it's a positive feedback, but
Wait,
at the end
but
of my
do you have an I-130 approval notice?
no, I don't.
So
So
as we sit here now,
yes,
you had the interview with your spouse, a mini
uh-huh.
Stokes interview. It went well,
Yeah,
and USCIS has not yet approved the I-130.
no,
And you need that I-130 when you go to court.
oh, I do.
Well, yeah, you want to get okay. So we got to get the I-130 approved, and they're probably like, Jesus, this lady's got a file this thick. What in the hell am I
I
going to do?
do literally have a file this thick. It's split in two parts. It looks like
Yep.
a chair.
I've seen those before. Yeah. So, and they're like, do I have to look through every page in this file before I approve her I-130? Okay. All right. So what I have questions, but what's your question?
So previously I was told that the reason why they won't like they the court that I have to go to will make the determination in terms of the outcome of my interview. So the they will
So that part's not right. Only USCIS can approve the I-130. And
oh
if you don't have a 485 on file,
no I don't.
then the judge can't approve that either. And I don't want you to have a 485. I'm glad
Yes.
you don't have the 485 on file. You need to get this I-130 approved. So whether it's now or later, you might need my help to sue the field office, because I don't know when you said your court date's in September?
It is in May.
May.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, the court might you need those deportation proceedings to be terminated. You have an I-130. It'd be really, really nice if in May you had the I-130 approval notice so that you could go in there and say, hey, Judge, I have an approved I-130. Government, will you agree to terminate these deportations? And they'll say yes. And you want to get this done before Trump comes back into office, right?
Oh, Lord, don't I know it?
Yeah. So I would say if I were you, May is pretty soon. You might think really soon about hiring me to sue them to get a decision on the I-130. Hopefully it's an approval. Then you take
All right.
it. Then you take it to you give it to your lady attorney. You
Yes.
say, hey, go talk to them about terminating my proceedings. And then you file a 45 with USCIS and you get your green card that way.
All right. I'll reach out to your office. My follow-up question, if you don't have one,
Yeah,
do you
go.
want to ask me something before?
No, I don't. I'm good.
All right. While I'm waiting with only the I-130 as that which is being processed, will I still need to file the other forms? For example, the I-485 and so on?
Well, you could file it now in the immigration court, but I think that'd be dumb and a waste of time and money, and it would just slow things down. I think that the proper timeline is get the I-130 approved, maybe by suing them, take the I-130 approval to the deportation attorney, the DOJ attorneys, Department of Justice attorneys, and say, hey, will you guys join in this motion to terminate my proceedings? I'm married. I know I've been here a really long time. I know I've got a complicated immigration history, but I'm finally got it squared away. I got a smart attorney. She's got my I-130 approval notice. All I need is for you guys to agree to terminate. And then once they terminate, then you file the 45 with USCIS, and then you just you can apply for the work card and the travel document and finally come out of the shadows.
All right. Will the processing time for the other forms that need to be submitted be the same?
Yeah, it's gonna be a year from when you file them.
Oh man.
Hey, but sister, you're right there. You're doing everything right. This is the right. You're right. You have a long, complicated history, but this is you're very, very close, and you got a good lawyer.
All right. Like I'm really pushing it because I wanna start school, and if I start as is, I'm going to be charged as an international student.
Oh, that's it. You might just have to if you wanna start school, but you don't want to pay international student rates, you might just have to wait a year to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because it's not to get your green card.
Yeah, because I have multiple ways of entering the program, but I'm thinking of the financial backsplash, so to speak.
All right. Well, you know how to get a hold of us. Happy to help.
Yes, thank you. You
Okay.
are very helpful. I appreciate it.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. Let's get to that fee increase. So here we go. All right. On April 1st, also known as April Fool's Day, USCIS will be increasing many of the fees. Almost all the fees are going up. A few are going down. All of the fees are going up, and some of the fees are going up, and the amount that they're going up depends on whether you plan on filing electronically or with paper, right? So they're really trying to push people to file online, which I think sucks because that system crashes a lot. And once a lot of more people use it, then it's going to crash even more. But here we go. So April 1st. So if you file an application and it's postmarked on March 31st, I don't know what day of the week that is. Somebody let me know what day of the week March 31st is. Then if you have that postmarked, then you pay the old fees. If it's postmarked April 1st or after, then you pay the old fees. Now, I'll just tell you, having lived through this back in 2016, there's going to be all kinds of confusion over when you filed. So I would say if you're planning on filing, you want to file it in March 1st, right? You don't want to wait until March 31st or March 30th. See, it's a Sunday. So that means, people are going to throw it in the mailbox. Oh, there's going to be a shit show right out of the box. Of course, USCIS is so dumb. It's going to start. People are going to throw it in the mailbox on a Sunday, and then it's going to get postmarked on April 1st. So it's already jacked up. We haven't even started and they fucked it up, right? So here we go. So the I-130 petition, which is what we talk about a lot on this show, right? The old fee right now, it's $535. If you file the I-130 online, it's going to go up $90. If you file it on paper, it's going to go up $140, right? So to $675, right? The travel document is going to go from $575 to $630. The refugee travel document is going to go up $30. If you lose your case and you have to file a Notice of appeal, 290B, it's going to go up $125. If you're talking about that I-360 that was filed earlier that we talked about, that's an 18% increase. The 485 is going up bigly, and it's not just this. So the I-45 is going up from 1225 to 1440, from 1225 to 1440. By the way, I read over the notice yesterday, and there's typos in there. It's all jacked up. There's sentences that half finished. So these guys haven't even thought it all through or processed it all through. So this is all still in flux. This is just what we know right now. So right now we know that the fee is going to go up from 1225 to 1440. And those sneaky bastards, what they did was they put out a proposed rule, like I think about a year ago or maybe 9 months ago, and they said we're gonna increase it way big, and now they've come back and they haven't increased it as much as they said they were going to, so that we get fooled into thinking they're doing us a favor. We can't forget the fact that this outfit is completely fund based. They're supposed to be not getting tax dollars, and that they're getting their funding from the filing fees. But this is an organization that has run the department into the ground. Why anybody trusts them, why anybody thinks they're entitled to more fees when they can't do things in a timely manner is beyond me. But here's the real kicker. Right now, and up until March 31st, if you file for adjustment of status and you want a work card and a travel document, that is included in the 1225 fee. So now you're going to have to pay the 765 fee, which is going to be $520. But for green cards, so they said you only have to pay half, $260 for the work card. You're going to have to pay $260 for your work card, which many people don't ever even get. And the advanced parole, you're going to have to pay the full new fee for, right? So we saw that the I-131 fee is $630. You're going to have to pay that whole thing if you want to be able to travel outside the United States. It's absolutely ridiculous. So those aren't included. So really, you're talking about going from 1225 plus 260. Let's do the math. So 1225 plus 260. By the way, our friend Lewis sent me a very nice analysis of this last night, and I was very grateful that he did that. Plus 630. So it's going to go to $2,115. Well, and then plus the I-130 is 625, plus 625. So it's $2,740. That's before you pay the lawyer, right? So these guys are total clowns. I think that some of this is going to get challenged. I didn't do the employment-based stuff. I'll do that next week, where I walk you through the increases in the employment-based stuff. Waivers are going up, and the petition to remove conditions are going up. So all the kinds of cases that we talk about on this show are going up. Employment authorizations, for the most part, are going up. If you file online, it'll go down a little bit. Citizenship's going to go down a little bit if you file online, or up. They didn't mess with citizenship much, and that's because the Democrats want more people to register to vote or to become citizens, and they think they're going to vote Democratic. So that's it for the fee increase. That's all I got. I wanted to bring that all up to your attention, because these are the kinds of cases we talk about on this show sort of all day long. And I wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of it. Nishi is here. Hello, Nishi. You're on mute. You're on mute. We can't hear you. Hello.
Sorry, I'm so bad. My bad.
It's okay.
Can I? Oh, I'll leave the camera on. Just a few questions. So, Jim, I just got approved last year on a conditional green card, and my son got approved this year. He's back home in Jamaica, so I'm wondering what the wait time would be like, since I am up in Massachusetts, and I know sometimes the waiting period goes by the country, like whatever may be happening in the country.
What are we talking about? Which application?
I-130 petition, U.S. citizen filing for
So your spouse
child
filed,
under 21.
Your spouse filed for
Yes.
your son.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the receipt date on the I-130?
Oh, it got approved. It's 2021.
It got approved in 2021?
Yes. No, the receipt date is 2021. It just got approved. So it's now
I see. So in other words, they were waiting for your case to get approved, and then once yours was approved, then they approved his I-130.
Yes.
And have you paid all the fees at the National Visa Center and submitted the DS-260?
No, not as yet. They said that we to wait for them to like contact me through the mail or an email
When
to
was
start my case number.
When was your son's I-130 approved?
This month. I think it's sometime like 15 or 17.
Okay, so in about a month, or you got to keep an eye on it, but pretty soon they're going to notify you that it's been approved and that your case has been sent to the National Visa Center. Then you'll pay the fees. You got to file the affidavit of support, maybe get a co-sponsor. I don't know how much your spouse makes. They're going to have to submit that. Then you're going to file the DS-260. So you're still probably, what embassy will your son go to get the visa?
It's in Jamaica.
Yeah, so you're probably a year out, I would think, till he's here.
Year?
I would think. I mean,
oh my God, I thought it's like a couple months.
Yeah, well, that I-130 processing time was really, really slow. You guys were stuck at USCIS for a long time, I guess, because they were waiting to do your case. Things should go a little bit faster, but you're just starting over again. You're starting with a whole new agency, the State Department. So,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Nishi, see ya.
Yep. See ya.
All right. Sammy's here. What's up, Sammy?
Nothing much, Jim. Is it okay if I?
Yeah, you're off. Yep.
Thank you. A friend of mine introduced me to your channel, and I've been following it keenly.
Nice. Thanks for watching.
You're doing a commendable job.
We have fun.
So now I have a question, Jim. I had my VAWA approved in 2022.
Okay.
And my work permit, I went ahead and I did last year. I did a petition of 1485 and 1765.
You mean the I-485 and the I-765?
Yeah, yes.
Got it. Okay.
So, and my work permit is up for this July. It's expiring. So my question is, right now, both 485, 765, they are pending.
Yeah.
So, and my work permit is expiring in July. Do I go ahead and wait for the C09, or do I proceed and do the renewal of C31?
I would do both.
You do both?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, anytime I can get a benefit, I'm paying that money and trying to do both.
I see. So whichever that comes first, as I'm still waiting for the
Yep.
If before July it comes, well and good. If it doesn't, then the C31 works.
Yep.
Right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Bye, Sammy. See ya. Boy, the older I get, the more I look like my dad. And when I'm sitting on my dad's old back porch, I really sort of see him, because he was all like more than me. So he was like that. That was Papa. Let's see if Vanessa got her audio squared away. Vanessa, how you doing? Uh-oh. Still can't hear you, sweetheart. I don't know what's up. You might want to call in or something. I don't know. Adel's here. What's up, Adel?
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great, buddy. How you doing?
Good. I have an interesting question. So my brother-in-law's wife, her case got approved. Okay. And we just found out that she's a doctor, so she
Wait, what'd you say, my brother-in-law's wife?
Yeah, my brother-in-law's wife.
Isn't that your sister?
No, my sister's brother.
Your sister's brother.
My wife's brother. Sorry.
Your wife's brother's wife. Your wife's brother's wife.
Right.
Got it. So you're right. Your brother-in-law's wife. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
All right.
The day is almost over.
Yeah. No shit.
All
right.
So she's a doctor, right? So her case got approved, but she's still waiting for her interview. So I don't know what happened. She went to apply for a tourist visa because I think she got some observership here approved or something in the United States. Okay. She's like a doctor. So she went for that tourist visa interview, and then that got approved. So they gave her like a slip. So now I'm thinking, can she come here? So will she, when she comes here on a tourist visa, will she have to file I-485 for the adjustment of like, her green card?
So what's the other thing besides the visit visa that got approved? What else got approved? Something that
The I-130 through the husband.
okay. So let's just be clear. So I've got a guy who's a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
He's married to a lady who happens to be a doctor.
Right. And
That
she's not here. She's in Pakistan.
That lady's overseas in Pakistan.
Yeah.
And the plan was for us to consular process through Islamabad, which is one of the slowest embassies that there is. But now, through some twist of fate, she has luckily obtained a B1, B2 visit visa to come to the United States to attend this observance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The question is, can we use that to our advantage? Like, can we mix things up a little bit?
Right.
So, how long ago was the I-130 approved?
Oh, months back.
Okay. And so when is she coming?
So she went to the interview yesterday and they gave her a blue slip, took her passport, and the slip said that your visa is approved.
Nice. Okay. So when is she going to come?
As soon as she gets the visa, I'm assuming like in a month or so.
And what's if we didn't have this whole green card case pending, how long would she come for? Like, is it for?
I think her next step would be like for sure, like come here and then file one I-485
yes, to. I know that, but we got to be careful about that. So
okay.
So my question is, put aside the fact that she's married to a U.S. citizen, put aside the fact that she has an approved I-130, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So if she was just coming to do the purpose of the visit, how long of a trip would that be?
I think as long as that thing or internship or whatever she got approved for lasted.
Okay. So and I just want to be clear about one other thing. Mm-hmm. When she applied for the visit visa, she made clear to them that she was married to a U.S. citizen and that he had an I-130 pending for her.
That I don't know, because
that's the $1 million question, because if for some reason she applied for this visit visa and didn't let them know that she was married and didn't let them know that an immigrant visa had been applied for her, she's in big trouble if she tries to come and adjust.
Right.
Because that's called a misrepresentation. Because remember, the visit visa is purposes of a visit. The immigrant visa is to come and stay. And if you misrepresent yourself to get that visit visa to come to the United States, then when you try to adjust, you're going to be in trouble. So that's the $1 million question. That's what you got to check.
Right.
You got to look at the DS-160. How did they answer that question? And did she list her husband on the form? If those two things are true,
exactly.
If those
if
those two things are true, then a couple months after she arrives, she could apply for adjustment. But that can't be her intention. That can be your intention. That can be my intention. That can be her husband's intention, but it can't be her intention. Because if she has that intention, then she's violated the terms of her non-immigrant visa. She's got a misrepresentation, and she's going to need a waiver to get a green card, which is going to be a big pain in the ass.
Okay. All right. Cool. Because she, according to her or my brother-in-law, that the immigration officer only asked her 2 questions, and literally was all over in like 2.
Well, it might have been real quick because she's a doctor and it looks like a legit reason to come. But the question, whether my concern always in this, and this is why I always highlight, and this is why I always start with it, is it's a poison pill. Yeah, maybe. Ooh, isn't it great she got that visit visa? But maybe she got it because they weren't entirely truthful. I doubt it. I'm sure she listed her husband. The question to me is whether she said that an immigrant visa petition had been filed for her.
Right. So, I mean, now, according to my brother-in-law, they knew that she was married, and I was like, wow, if they knew, because they look for a reason that you better come back. That's why we're gonna give you the visa, But
so that's why you got to check the DS-160.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Jim.
Right. Good call, man. Thanks.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. I wanted to mention one other thing. I don't know if you've noticed lately, but a couple of people have put comments in Immigrant Home in the Facebook group and said, hey, does anybody know an immigration lawyer? And some people very kindly say me, and I appreciate that. But more importantly is these people that say, that one person said, I'm a lawyer. I sent you a DM and I looked at their profile. They're not a lawyer at all. And the other one just sort of disappeared. So if it's not Huli or me reaching out to you on Facebook or Lyneth, who works with us, triple check with us before you send anybody any money or tell them anything about your case, because they're just scammers. So if anybody notices that, luckily somebody reported one of those to me today, so I was able to take it down and kick that person out. But with the group being as big as it is now, like 12,000 people, there's just, scammers in there. So be careful and don't sign anything that isn't with us. Don't do anything if you're not talking to Daniel or one of our intake specialists. If you don't have Huli's seal of approval, don't trust them. Let's see what Dar has to say. Hi, Dar.
Hi, Jim. Hope you're doing well. So I was on an F1 visa, and I got out of status about 5.5 months ago. And I just wanted to know my options, which I have now.
How many months ago?
5.5.
So, of course, the half is the big thing because you only get 5 months for reinstatement. So you missed a big opportunity there. Why did you do nothing for 5.5 months?
It was just going back and forth with the school. I was in constant communication for the past 4 months with the school.
Are you sure that your CVIS record was terminated more than 5.5 months ago? You know the date your CVIS record was terminated?
Yes.
All right, so then you're out of status. So you either need to go back to your country, or you have to figure out some other way to get into status. But there's no way. The only way that you can adjust your status now would be if you married a U.S. citizen. But it's got to be real. It can't just be to solve your immigration problem. It has to be because you're in love.
What about the exit and entry option? I do hear a lot about that.
Well, do you have a school that wants to take you?
Yeah, the same school. I have like one class remaining. So they did said we're going to provide you an I-20. You can try your luck. That's what they said.
You can try it.
So would a reinstatement for I-20 be a better option, or exit or entry?
Reinstatement's done. You missed it. It's 5 months.
So exit and entry is the last shot.
Yep.
All right. That's my question. Thank you.
Yeah, and now you're getting, if your CVIS record's 5.5 months, you're going to have a 3-year bar if you leave. You're going to have to do this yesterday. You only have like 2 weeks left. You understand that, right? If you're out of status for 6 months and you leave, you got a 3-year bar.
So it should be like within 6 months' time.
Within 6 months of the termination of your CVIS record, which sounds like it's in 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right. Be careful. Thank you.
Bye, Dar. Yeah, those F1s, that's nothing to mess around with. Those are really hard to fix. If you fall out of status, they're really hard to fix. KG's here. What's up, KG? You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, hi Jim. Hope you're doing good.
Sure, what's up?
So Jim, my question is regarding a friend who got a criminal case.
A criminal case?
Yeah.
What kind of criminal case?
He was arrested for eluding, and the criminal charge was dismissed.
For looting?
For eluding.
Eluding, like running away from the cops?
Yeah. The charge was actually dismissed in the court, and instead he got speeding and reckless driving tickets.
Okay, so just to be clear, he's driving down the road, he's going too fast, the cops try to pull him over and he runs away. Okay?
No, I mean, that's what he was charged for. So
they dropped the eluding charge and they just pled guilty to the speeding shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now he's looking to change the employer. So can USCIS reason?
Can they? Yes. Will they? Most likely not. They don't do biometrics for H-1B transfers. They don't do background checks very much. I think the chances of that are very, very small. The big problem for him is going to be when he leaves the United States and needs to get a new visa stamp. That's his problem. But yeah, in theory, he could change employers, get sponsored for a green card, and then leave the United States. Hopefully he's not from India.
He is.
Yeah, so he's got a long time to wait before it's safe for him to travel outside the United States. But yeah, I'll tell you this: I've never had an H-1B get transfer or original H-1B get rejected because the beneficiary had some kind of a criminal thing.
Okay, and the end client for his current job is the new employer.
Yeah.
So does that improve the chances, or
it has no bearing on what we're talking about? They'll
like,
either find it or they don't. But as I mentioned, I don't think that they do a background check on the beneficiary.
Okay. All right. I think that answers my question today. I'll be back for
Awesome.
any other question if I have in future.
Thanks. Man. All right, everybody. We hit the hour mark. The sun is down. It's starting to get cold. The Bad Boys theme song is here to stay. I think we need to figure out a way to get sound effects on this show. What do you guys think? That was sort of fun. I think, yeah, Cooley's saying yes. That was fun. Could you guys hear the music and the person? That was my only concern. You could hear both. Okay. I wasn't sure. All right. So tomorrow is the first Thursday of the month. And on the first Thursday of the month is when I record my podcast for my other thing, which is Maximum Lawyer. So I have to record 5 episodes of that tomorrow. Those are half-hour shows. So I may be spent by the end of the day. I might do a show at 4 o'clock. Right now it's not on the calendar. If I don't do one tomorrow, I'll do it on Friday, but I might decide. We'll see how I'm feeling around lunchtime, and then we'll decide. So the best way for you to find out about that is to text the word show to 314-470-3300. Also, if you don't know, we went over 100,000 followers on TikTok, and I told Noor that we're going to get 1 million followers on TikTok by the time she turns 16. She'll be 15 in May. So we got a year to go from 100 to 1 million. And I think we're going to do it. All right, everybody. All right, good. Laura says everybody could hear. All right. We're going to get some sound effects up in here. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow or Friday. Later.